Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our WHS contest concert. Tonight we have 5 ensembles that we're thrilled to have perform for you. Each of these ensembles will be performing literature either from the Minnesota State High School League approved list or will have received approval to perform the pieces they are using tonight. And each of these pieces provides our students with specific challenges, musical techniques to work on. If you would like to see the rating system that's used by the Minnesota State High School League, feel free to use your smartphone and scan the QR code on the back of the program. And you're welcome to play judge while we perform for you tonight. You can decide based on the criteria that you see how we did. Tomorrow, each of these groups will have the opportunity to perform for a clinician and receive one-on-one instruction from an expert in their field. We will share a bit more about tomorrow as the evening goes along, but we're excited to get going, and it's my pleasure to introduce the WHS Varsity Strings under the direction of Ms. Melanie Loy. And now please welcome the WHS Orchestra, also under the direction of Ms. Melanie Loy.
Thank you so much. I just want to say about Varsity Strings, the group that started our program this evening. They are 43 members, just freshman and sophomore group, so it's a pleasure to have two good-sized orchestra ensembles at Worthington High School now. And I just want to thank my colleagues, Zach Paulson and Morgan Ruxtalis. A year ago at this time, as 8th graders, those students were getting ready to travel to Minnesota Music Educators Association. All the time and effort that they put into preparing for that convention, that music conference, really paid off, because they're going to be strong players as they grow into juniors and seniors like before me, these students. The first piece that the WHS Orchestra played, Reverie, I chose as a contrasting lyrical piece so that a judge, a clinician tomorrow can work with us and coach us on our emotional skills and everything in playing, our expressiveness and everything. So the Reverie by James Carigliano was a perfect piece for us to express our vibrato and our crescendo, decrescendo, and our legato bowing and everything. Before we play our next piece, which is our last number for WHS Orchestra before the choirs and band present tonight, I just want to say that this weekend now, at convention time for the Minnesota Music Educators Association, that in Minneapolis, the all-state choirs and band and orchestras will play and perform. And out of this group, Dylan Morris was selected last year in May. He went to a camp over summer, and Dylan Morris from Worthington High School will represent us proudly here from Worthington in the all-state orchestra this weekend. So we wish him all the best. Dylan on string bass. Audience, thank you for your kind attention. And now I want to present to you Ms. Carrie Johnson and the Varsity Choir.
Thank you. This is our 9th grade ensemble, and we have loved working together this year. Our first piece, The Old Mill, gives us the challenge of working through breath support, tone color, and long lyric phrases, learning how to use dynamics. Our second piece, Bonseaba, is going to give us an opportunity to work with rhythm, to work again with dynamics and a cappella singing. Before I introduce our soloists, we also have 4 students in this ensemble who last weekend attended ACDA's State 9th and 10th grade honor choir. They auditioned for this last fall and were selected. They were in the top third of students who auditioned, and they had the opportunity to go up to Minneapolis this past weekend and work with a guest conductor and give a fantastic concert in the Ted Mann Concert Hall. And we are thrilled that out of this group, Dalen Sidhad, Austin Kinzer, Holden Meyer, and Sebastian Krohn were accepted into 9 and 10 honor choir. Wave. Wave so they know who you are. Bonseaba features 2 soloists, Friendly Paw and Elise Tierink, and Austin Kinzer on percussion.
And now, wonderful audience, please welcome the Worthington High School Concert Choir under the direction of Carrie Johnson.
So we have two selections for you. This first one, Sing Gently, was written by Eric Whitaker in the spring of 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. And Eric Whitaker is known as a composer for mixing media, for creating something called a virtual choir. So if you remember during COVID, when it looked like everyone was singing over Zoom, but they really weren't, because you can't do that, without lots of delay, he created these huge virtual choir projects. And he decided to create this one in the middle of COVID, and it featured over 17,000 voices, I believe, from 29 countries across the world that he stitched together video by video. And he wrote it, there's a concept in singing and in wind music called stagger breathing. And Sing Gently represents the idea of when things get challenging, when music is difficult to sing because the phrases are long, one person takes a breath while the rest of the people keep singing, and then they trade off. So it seems like the sound is endless, but really the choir is breathing for each other. And the lines intertwine to show that idea of take a breath and I'll breathe for you, and then I'll take a breath and you breathe for me. Our second piece, Sili Lisa, brings together a whole world of ideas, of cultural exchanges and languages, and lots of energy. You'll hear phrases in Spanish, phrases from African languages, lots of busyness and enthusiasm, and we hope you really enjoy it. But before we sing our last piece for you, we also have some students in this ensemble that we need to acknowledge. Also attending state 9th and 10th grade honor choir last weekend was Lucy O'Donnell. Go ahead and wave, Lucy, so we know who you are. And this coming weekend, we have two students who will reunite with their all-state choirs. They also were selected last spring, attended a week-long camp last summer, and will be performing in Orchestra Hall this coming Saturday, Quinn Benz and Savannah Rodriguez. We also would like to thank our administration. WHS makes sure that no student has to turn down these opportunities that are earned because of financial hardship. And as we got to the concert last weekend, there was all kinds of asking for money for scholarships so that students could go. We never have to worry about that here, and we are really thankful for an administration that supports the endeavors of our students. So thank you so much. Sili Lisa features two percussionists, A. Karit and Ezra Bonnet, reprising his role as the djembe player. Before we introduce our last ensemble, we are really excited that tomorrow our students get to perform these same pieces for guest clinicians who will be in our school working with them. A few years ago, we decided as a department that it would be more beneficial for our kids and a greater learning experience to have a clinic session rather than going to large group contest. In our region right now, large group contest means that these 3 groups would go out on separate days, travel to Mankato, sing for a judge, get a quick rating, get on the bus, and come home. And you can see how many kids we have in multiple ensembles, which is one of the strengths of our program, but that pulls a lot of kids out of school for a lot of days. This gives us one day where we bring in a clinician for either a 40-minute or 80-minute clinic. And so families, we'd like to ask for your assistance in helping your students prepare tomorrow. And students, we're going to give you the rundown of the schedule one more time. All students should wear concert black tomorrow. Choirs should also bring their choir jackets. Concert choir will start the day with Dr. Russell Svenningson in the choir room at 8:10. They will be out of first block for its entirety. Varsity choir will begin in the choir room right at the beginning of second block at 10:45. And they will be with Dr. Svenningson, at 9:45. And they'll be with Dr. Svenningson until 10:25 tomorrow. At 10:30, varsity strings will work with Dr. Christopher Stanichar in the orchestra room, and they will work until the end of second block, which is 11:10. And then WHS Orchestra, you're going to report to the orchestra room for 3A. You will be there for 3A and 3B, and you will eat lunch during 3C tomorrow, working with Dr. Stanichar. Band, you will report to the band room during fourth block tomorrow, so at 1:15. And you will be working with Mr. Mike Peterson through the duration of fourth block tomorrow. Okay? We will also send these out in Schoology and the band app tonight as a reminder. Families, if you can help make sure they're dressed in concert black when they head to school tomorrow, and if they are in choir, that they have their choir jackets, that would be much appreciated. And now, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our last ensemble of the evening, the WHS Trojan Concert Band, under the direction of Mr. Mike Peterson. Mike Thompson. Wow. I'm sorry. Anybody else have old lady brain? Because I sure do. Mr. Mike Thompson, who we're thrilled to have here at the high school. I love working with him. He's awesome. Here we go. Now I'm giving the mic to my colleague, Mike Thompson.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Mike Thompson. That first piece that you heard was a gorgeous piece called Ire from Melanie Donahue. It worked on, as you could see, many soloists that played throughout the piece and gave the opportunity for the ensemble to focus on balancing between small groups of players and very large groups of players. The other thing that was really important in this is there wasn't a single part in this entire piece that was unimportant at any given time. So the other struggle of that one was being able to make sure every single part was heard and everybody could play their part at a level that they could play it on their own and it would still be good. All right? So this next piece that we have is a really, really exciting piece, Spirit of the Falcon by Richard Saucedo. This piece, I think, is one of the band's favorite pieces. It is a very, very exciting piece to play. It has a lot of very precise and complex rhythms through it, a lot of mixed meter throughout the entire thing, so I hope you enjoy. Well, with that, that concludes our concert. Thank you, everybody, for coming for a great night of music. Drive safe home, please.